And welcome everyone to another episode of What Now? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are tuned in from. I have a little disclaimer today. My guest is going to be tuned in from Jamaica, so there will be Jamaican internet again, so it might work, it might not. On top of that, it is storming outside here, so I've been seeing my connection going back and forth, which it shouldn't here in Amsterdam, but it is, so we'll just see how this conversation will hold up today. I am very excited. As I said, my guest today is coming live from Jamaica and is part of the legendary band Third World. If you don't know Third World, you better find out, because they're responsible for numerous of hits and probably the biggest, longest lasting band there is that is still doing their thing. They're older than me. They're older than probably most of the people that are tuned in. And I have had the pleasure to be somewhat traveling with them in Jamaica about 11 years ago. That's when I met them, and it was amazing to be in Jamaica with such legends, because the whole island loves them, obviously. The whole world does. I mean, if anything, you should know the monster hit Now That We Found Love, which was also sampled and used by Heavy D, of course. So yeah, I am waiting for Stephen Cat Coore to come in and join my live talk. Again, he will be tuning in from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. So we will see how his connection will hold up. I spoke to him beforehand, and we just said we're gonna try. And if his connection breaks off, I'll hold off and wait until he comes back in. Yeah, I'm glad to see everybody in here. What's up, Real? What's up, Leif? What's up, Tim? D. Frazier, welcome. I hope everybody is healthy and still holding up during this pandemic. Again, What Now was brought to life to motivate and inspire not only creatives but everyone. So let's hope that that I can do that as long as this pandemic is going on. What's up, Houston? H-Town in the house. Oh my God, it's my second home. And yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to Houston this year, obviously, because of what's going on. But I miss Houston. I miss all my people there, my friends and my family. So yeah, what's up, Houston? Thanks for tuning in. Please vote. Well, nobody here is going to vote because we're not in the States. No, we're not voting. You better vote. Yeah, anyway. We are waiting for Mr. Stephen Cat Coore to come in here, part of legendary band Third World, coming live from Jamaica. There he goes, and let me get him in here. Yeah, let's see. So you could just join me in this live. Let's hope this connection works. Hello.
Hi.
It works. Great.
Yep.
Thank you for joining me in this conversation. I appreciate it.
All good.
Oh, good. How are things on your side? How is Jamaica doing?
Well, I mean, Jamaica personally right now, I guess you could say that we kind of, we're between a rock and a hard place, really. I wouldn't say that we are doing that badly, but we're not doing well since we had the election and since we had Emancipation Day, and a lot of people went out during those two, events. And we found that a tremendous amount of increase in infections and all kind of stuff went on. And then we've just finished our National Heroes Weekend.
Okay.
And and the government had to peg that back in a big way. So in other words, all the usual wonderful things that we have, like all of our parades with the national heroes and images and all that, had to be shut down. The National Honors Awards, they had to do that virtually. And we had two days of 3 o'clock curfews, which is always something really,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
3
3
o'clock is
o'clock
real
in
early.
Jamaica is crazy. People have to get home, so everything closes up by 1 o'clock in the day. So there's a mad rush to do what you have to do
Right. That's
between like
crazy.
8, 9 o'clock, going back to like, 1.
So do you, is that, how long has that been going on? Is that curfew still there?
No, what they did was they imposed it for 2 days. They imposed it for Sunday and the holiday, which is Monday. So it's kind
Okay.
of like your guys' Labor Day.
Right.
It's like on Sunday and then the Monday is the holiday kind of thing. So they imposed it for the Sunday and the Monday.
Okay.
But now we're kind of relaxed now. We're actually gone to 9 o'clock in the night now. But one really does this work because everybody hits the road and does such madness for the 2 days where it's 3 o'clock curfew that you have just as much chance of spreading it as if you had left everything open to 6 and people had
Right.
taken their time.
Right.
So, yeah.
They have to do something. It's the same over here. Like we're facing a second lockdown here in the Netherlands, and it's just what are you going to do about it? It is what it is, and you're just going to have to see how this all plays out. But for you guys still being active in the music industry, how has this affected you professionally?
Well, basically speaking, what it has done is taken away my life.
Yeah.
I don't really. There's no music business.
Yeah.
There's nothing in music business. There's only royalties from songs that you already did. People are very paranoid about going to the studio. There have been some amount of, concern about infections through the studio. A couple of, well-known musicians have contracted the virus and they've been in the studio.
Right.
And a couple of studios have been pinpointed as where, some people contracted the virus or people who had visited that studio had the virus. So the paranoia sets in and nobody wants to do that. And I guess the kids who have their own studios and who do Pro Tools and all that stuff, those kids are cool. You know what I mean? They can stay at home and create their own music and all of that. But old timers like myself who are accustomed to going to go work with Sly or going to go work with, with Robbie Lane or whatever, it's really affected us.
So what are you doing now to stay sane, really? Because like you said, it has taken away your life. So what do you do for yourself to personally be okay?
Nothing.
But are you okay? I mean, you have to,
Yeah,
look,
for me personally, what I did over the summer is I went out to parts of Jamaica that I don't usually go to.
Okay.
I kind of did like a tourist thing because everything was closed. And I took my cello and I went and I played by the riverside. And I went to Doctor's Cave Beach with my guitar and sang. And I made films of all of this. I'm making a thing called Tiger Tales.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the content is there, but we haven't started editing yet. We haven't really got into it fully yet. But I did some good stuff in terms of that. I really.
That's good.
Myself and Rocksteady, we got quite creative, and we went out and we were very lucky because we had some good friends down in Trelawney who we were able to stay with them. And we were able to use that as a base to kind of like, just
go to different places,
from area to area, yeah. And also I was able to record a lot of songs that I only do on stage with the cello. I was able to record Redemption song in a slave hospital, in an old slave hospital. I was able to do, the James Bond theme, right where the alligators were, where James Bond walked over the alligators in the movie. And I was able to do a couple of things that are really interesting.
Right.
But to be quite honest with you, I haven't been able to do much performing. But there have been a couple of occasions where I've been called and asked to do stuff, and I've gone and done it. I mean, this is not, as I was saying to a great sporting personality, that I'm very glad to see how sports has rebounded, because you see, sports is a contest.
Yeah.
So you can have a contest on the field with two football teams. You can have two cricket teams. You could have X amount of ladies or men's golfers. You could have, you see Nadal just won the French Open. You could do a lot of stuff like that, because it's a contest and you can compete together and show that it's on TV, and there's great amount of attraction there. For us, a concert is not a contest. So if we set up somewhere and there's no audience, how is that gonna work? No, and live streaming hasn't really worked yet.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of things that I thought were pretty good. I thought Reggae Sumfest did a really good job.
Right.
But they didn't charge. They did it free. And what they did was they took sponsorship from like Pepsi and and stuff like that. So you didn't have to swipe your card to go online to go to Reggae Sumfest. It was free.
Right.
And like and I did Freddie McGregor's own too, which I really enjoyed doing. But quite honestly, I don't think it started to really work yet to the point where musicians can say, boy, we can put up a live stream thing and we could make, X amount of money.
It's not going to be a substitute for your actual show income. That live stream at this point is not doing that for you yet, especially not heavily touring musicians like yourself. You basically tour all the time, so there is no substitute income for that at this point.
No.
And
the Jamaican government, with all love and respect to them, they came out like maybe I'd say, well, March was when the whole thing started, so I'd say April, May, June, maybe around June. They said that they're going to put together some kind of stimulus package to help Jamaican musicians, because I mean, with all true love and respect for all of the big names, they are the ones who probably would have some form of economy saved and stuff. But basically speaking, even to a band like Third World that we have to do the splits and steel pulse and stuff, it's a rough ride.
Did that go through though?
And well, I'm just getting to that, because it's like the musicians themselves that are the real support act to all of this. The Jamaican musicians, the average guy who plays bass for Damien, like my son, or the guy who plays guitar for Chronics, like my other son, or the guy who plays keyboards, or the guy who does this or that. These are the ones who are really struggling right now. So I've heard the discussion has been there about it, but to be quite honest with you, I haven't really seen the follow through yet. But this is not a time to be too critical yet. We need to be patient and wait to see what they have in mind, because
it's October.
We need the help. We need the help badly. And it's October, I agree. But as I say, I don't know. This is not a simple thing for them to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the more we can look at it from that point of view and say, this is not a simplistic move.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to take a lot of thought and care too, in terms of like, from their point of view, they have to really look into it and see, well, how can we really help? And we don't want to waste the public purse at this time, because there's so many other things that are suffering. I mean,
everything is suffering.
Our medical fraternity is in the toilet. I mean, I don't even know how the minister is managing, with the job he has. It's just overwhelming. And
there's no tourism either.
We have to fight our way through it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But there are one or two things that are kind of interesting, like this business of having concerts in drive-in theaters. And people can drive their car up, and they have their own physical space with their family or whatever, with their car.
What they're doing here,
yeah, then you could actually have a stage, and and Cat and the guys could actually go out there and perform and stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not a bad way of thinking.
Yeah, you have to come up with solutions in this time, and everyone is trying to figure out how to survive and how to get through this, whether it's professionally or personally, even because a lot of musicians that I've spoken to are not even in the creative space to make music because they're first trying to be okay with not being able to do what they love to do. Which is why I started this live series on Instagram to motivate and inspire people that are going through the same thing. And it doesn't even have to be creative people, but everyone is going through something, having to deal with what's going on in the world. But especially musicians and creatives in the entertainment industry, the culture sector that's completely shut down. We have to look to each other to see if you can come up with different solutions in substituting that income stream that you've lost, and to stay sane, help each other mentally, because it's taking a toll mentally and physically on a lot of people. I just read an article over here that this DJ was talking about 31 of his friends who work in the music industry have all committed suicide during this pandemic. It's insane. That just broke my heart. It's a real problem, and so there has to be help. We have to support each other, and we have to help each other. So yeah.
I know.
And you are definitely a person that a lot of people look up to as far as musically. You're very inspiring. I mean, I said it before, your band is older than I exist, and you're still going. And I just think that deserves, first of all the love and respect and the support at this point. I think you guys are definitely one of the biggest ambassadors for your country. So I do hope that some sort of stimulus package will work out, so you guys can keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, well, we hope so too. And we're sort of looking towards what are the concepts for live performances to come back. Because as I said earlier on about sports, they had to go into their creative way of thinking. I mean, it was basically a no-brainer to say, well, okay, no crowds, but we're still going to have the matches. We're still going to have the tennis matches, the golf. We're still going to have that, but with no crowds kind of thing. But, maybe that wasn't something that was really super creative because it's kind of like a no-brainer. But but as far as music and drama and stuff like that, because I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who was on Broadway for many, many years doing so well. Yeah. And now there's no plays on Broadway. And even off Broadway, just to use an example, and then that's just one example of something that happens all around the world. All around the world, there are playhouses where people love to go and see, dramatic plays and stuff. And movie houses have the same issue. Down here, I just heard that they closed down 3 of the most popular cinemas because they said that they're just not getting the kind of action that they usually get. So the ones that are still doing good, they're still working with those. And but 3 of the major ones, they just pulled it down. They said for a minute here, we're pulling them down until we see what's happening, So that kind of thing, it's really impacted. And those are the people who culturally, we are the world, we are the leaders. Yeah. We're the ones who we inspire. When we go live on stage and play and stuff, it's pure inspiration and love. That's all it is. Yeah. That's why I keep going back to my favorite pet, that is sports. I'm a huge sports fan. I'm just so thrilled to see that the guys can still do it. Yeah. And we can still watch horse racing. My brother and I, we love horse racing, and we can still put a little bet down here or there or whatever, and and have some fun and all of that, and that's really cool. But the members of the music fraternity are really, really, really struggling right now. Really struggling.
So are there, for you, are there ways where you, because you were talking about studios being closed, younger people also, you know, still being okay to record because of digitally and all the new ways. Do you feel like this is a time for you to figure out those type of ways so you can still keep recording? Is that something that you would do, or are you like, no, I'm just going to wait until I can do it old school style?
No, man. I've already been involved in doing some stuff, you know, particularly with my son, Shia, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Damien's based here because Shia, he just spends most of his time just, you know, sitting there with his computer creating music. So,
Right.
yeah, so I was fortunate to go down to Port Antonio with him and spend the whole, you know, like a long, long weekend. And we just sat there, you know, running through stuff, creating ideas and doing stuff like that, which is really cool, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, but as you know, after that first creative step, the development of it into a finished product,
Yeah.
you know, is a long process. You know, you might want a particular singer to sing it. You know, you might want to put horns on it. You might want to do this or that, or put a keyboard guy on it, or whatever, whatever. And that makes the thing a little more complex.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's not just about a solo effort really, or like a two guy thing or a
No,
three
it's,
guy thing.
yeah, it's more involved.
Right. So yeah, of course. I mean, and as I say, anything I can do live, I do it. You know, and a lot of filming. I also went on. I don't know if you know Rupert, who used to play with us, Rupert Bent, and he teaches sailing.
Oh,
And
wow.
I went on his yacht and played the cello. We went across Kingston Harbor, and we filmed all of that stuff. So we've been doing a lot of filming and recording stuff, you know, to make sure
Yeah,
that we
you can
have it
put
for
that out.
posterity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always good to have the content, you know.
Yeah. So are you
But
also, are you
huh?
recording, are you recording new music with your son? Are you doing a lot of collaborations now with different people because you can digitally record? Is that something that you want to do, or maybe add your cello to other people's music? Is that,
Well, I'm open to any of the above, really. You know, I'm cool to do anything that you know that I'm required to do on the front line, you know.
yeah,
But what I'm really looking forward to is getting back with my nephew Damien, you know.
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to trying to get back with him to work because his platform he works from is like just on a different level, you know. He has the best studio, he's the best studio engineer, and he has everything from old school, new school
right.
to futuristic school. So I really miss that. I really, really miss
Yeah,
that, and I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that we can get that back soon, you
yeah,
know. But it seems every time that I feel inspired to go back to Florida, it's like it starts to spike again, or it starts to
yeah.
spike down here again. I just keep my ass quiet, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's the tricky thing because I haven't been able to go anywhere. I can't see my family, my friends in the United States or anywhere else really. So that's been hard. But I'm happy that you keep busy, that you're filming, that you're still recording. Because again, that's probably what you need to keep, you know, to get through this whole phase in life. Because if you don't have anything, then that definitely will break a person down mentally. Uh,
Yeah, hang on to your day job. Hang on to your day job.
Sorry?
Hang on to your day job.
Oh, well, my day job, I don't have a day job. We're not going
So
back to day
where in the
jobs.
Netherlands are you? Where in the Netherlands are you?
I'm in Amsterdam.
Oh, you're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
And,
my
it's, and all the coffee shops are locked down.
well, so we had our first lockdown, and so people could still get stuff, but not inside. You can only take out. So it's kind of like a restaurant takeout. And now they have, I think all restaurants are now curfewed for 9 o'clock, and the coffee shops are pretty much closed only for takeout as well. So But you can still go there and get stuff, but you know,
Yeah.
face masks and all of that.
I can't imagine what that beautiful square looks like with a
It's
beautiful old
empty,
church.
all
There's
empty.
no one there.
Yeah. It's, and you know
That's
how busy
amazing.
Amsterdam was or is normally,
Oh,
but
come
it's just
on.
completely empty now. Like,
It's the only place I know you can ride a bicycle, put it down, just pick up another one and ride off, and nobody says anything.
no, you can do that. You can go ahead. But you're gonna have to come out here again.
That's
Because
crazy.
I'm thinking, when is the last time you were in Amsterdam?
We were in Amsterdam last year.
I didn't see you guys. I think,
Yeah, man, we were there last year for a festival. We were there last year for a festival.
but I don't think that was Amsterdam. I think that was somewhere outside the city. That was, if that was that Reggae Fest or something?
Yeah, actually, I think I took a train and came into Amsterdam and had fun. So maybe it's like Utrecht or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, that could be it. Well, next
Yeah,
time I'll keep an eye out. All I remember is that I had a great time in Jamaica with you guys. You know, driving around. I've been to your house, remember? I think
yeah.
I met your daughter. It was, yeah, it was a lovely time, but that's so long ago. And it's the only time I've been to Jamaica. I haven't been able to come back. So now I'm like, I can't come because we can't fly. So that's kind of sad, but I'll be back at some point.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you again. I mean, hopefully I'll be here, and you'll be well taken care of for sure.
Right. Well, if you're in Florida, I'm in Florida a lot because my family lives in Florida, so we can just coordinate. I do wanna ask you. You know, we've talked about the situation now. Um, you know, I've been talking to a lot of musicians navigating their careers. And for you to have been in the music industry for so long, I know you have a lot of lessons that you've learned, a lot of things that you've come across. And I would like for you to give us one of the biggest lessons that you've learned navigating as a musician in this industry, because I know a lot of people will be watching to find out how to do this music business, even in this pandemic. What are some of the biggest lessons that you had to learn?
I think the biggest one I've learned is the pandemic.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
that's big coming from somebody that's been in this industry for so long.
yeah, I don't think I've ever learned a lesson more devastating than that. I mean, I don't mean to start from a depressing point because there's so many great high points I can go to. Recording with Stevie Wonder,
Right.
touring with Santana. I can go on so many great, you know,
Yeah.
expeditions that I've been on and describe how wonderful they were and everything. But what the pandemic has shown me is how the bottom can just drop out of a bucket,
Right.
because there it is, the music business, you're walking to the well with this bucket full of water, and one day there's just no bottom.
Yeah.
And you can't put any water in there, you can't do anything because basically speaking, you can't perform. And that's what we do.
So
That's
what is
what
the
we do.
lesson? What is the lesson that you're learning? What is something that you can give out to people how you're handling this?
Well, I would say that the minute that you're sure, you're wrong.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing now.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you right now, I kind of, I'm listening. I have my ear to the ground, to the promoters and the people in the business and people who are looking to try to get things going again. Because you and I know the minute that live music returns, it's going to be like a feast. People are going to
Yeah.
just go at it like crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm listening out to see where everybody is going with this and stuff, and there's some really interesting ideas.
Yeah.
But
Indeed.
but it's going to be kind of like I don't want to say it's going to be a really hard road to get it back. It might be tough for a lot of people because well,
They
I
have to
mean
start
the
from
whole
scratch. Yeah.
yeah, and the whole entire industry is going to have to take a cut in salary.
Yeah.
Everybody from the guy working the lights the
Yeah.
guy doing the song, the guy playing guitar like me, the guy singing like AJ, the guy playing the drums like Tony. Everybody's gonna have to realize that you're working for less wages, but at least you can get back up on stage and
Right.
you can get back some sanity.
Yeah.
But it is, as I say, it's kind of very interesting where they're going. And funnily enough, what's really looking kind of really positive is cruise ships, which
Cruise
is
ships.
strange. Yeah, because that's been one of the things that caused so much problems in the earlys of
Yeah.
this thing. You know, people on
Yeah.
cruise ships and stuff. But what they're realizing now is that they can get 3,000 people checked easily to find out what their status is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just sail off somewhere. You're isolated,
Yeah, you can't
right?
contract
You're
it.
out in the middle of the ocean. And you can do the things, you can set up, you can play, you can have a crowd watching you, you can do, as long as everybody's cool and the ship is cool, you can do it. So it kind of,
That's smart.
yeah, it's kind of like a paradox in a way because that was where people
That was,
thought
yeah.
was a real problem, you know. That was like, oh my God, a cruise
Yeah.
ship.
Let's
Oh,
get off the
God,
ship.
you know.
Yeah. Now you want to get on the ship.
No, you want to get on the ship. So
Right.
that, I think that's really good thinking, and I think they're looking into that, and that could be something that could work. I don't know how it would work for tourism. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I can
um,
fly over there to get on that ship. I would have to try and get a flight and then get tested over there and then get on the ship. But
yeah,
I can't get in. Yeah.
can't you go to Saint Martin?
Well, we can actually go to the Dutch Kingdom Islands. So Curacao,
Yeah,
Suriname,
Saint
I think.
Martin.
Yeah. So probably St. Martin as well. So we could go there and then maybe even quarantine for 10 or 14 days and then go out to Jamaica. But it'll be
Yeah,
a
or
couple
you
months
could
that
catch
you
it.
have to take out for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you could take the ship from St. Martin, but as you say, it's an extra 10 days
Yeah.
of sitting there, just making sure that you're safe.
Right.
And that's a real issue.
Yeah.
So, although I really give kudos to the people who are really giving it a good shot, at the same time, boy, the hill is steep
Yeah.
to
It's
climb
deep.
because of what's really happened. And we're changing day to day. We're living day to day.
Yeah.
And based on that, maybe day to day, something may happen for us. By Christmas, things may look different. Things could look worse.
Right.
But yeah, but it's a day-to-day process, my darling. It's a
Well,
day-to-day process.
I would think Jamaica being an island, you would have less risk of getting infections than where I'm at because we have all these countries around us. Everybody's hopping in, hopping out, mingling, doing things that they're not supposed to do. We are not isolated at all. So this is also why we're still spiking right now. We're completely in the red. My whole country is probably the worst country in Europe right now. We are on everyone's restricted list. So I would prefer probably to be on an island right now. Well, not just because of the good weather, but also because I think there's less risks. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, my friend in St. Martin who lives right on the runway, and and I have the pleasure of staying with her when I go there sometimes. She's a great host and everything, and she's in the travel industry.
Oh.
And she tells me that the big KLM boys are landing every 2 days.
Yeah.
Air France is landing every day.
Yeah.
And people are coming from Europe, going over to the French side, going to the Dutch side.
Right.
Those who come, they go on to Curacao or they go on down to Suriname and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, there is communication happening between, the Netherlands and the Caribbean, or France and the Caribbean. But even Jamaica and the Caribbean too, Caribbean air is good. You can go to Trinidad, you can go to Barbados, you can go with.
You can hop
with
over.
not, I'm not quite sure which islands have any kind of 7-day to 14-day,
Oh yeah, the quarantines. Yeah.
incubator period or whatever. I'm not sure, but I know that we're still communicating in terms of like travel. We're
Right.
still moving from place to place and everything. And I think uh, the worst part of it is probably like a 14-day curfew. So
Right.
if you really have to go somewhere to do some work or something, you can do a 14-day thing and then you cool.
Yeah.
Or there's some islands that you can just do a test before you leave Jamaica, and if you're good to go, you're good to go, kind of
Right.
thing. So there's still some communication happening and stuff, but there's some islands that are really, they're from the very early times they kind of did the right thing. Islands like Saint Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla,
Right.
those two come to mind immediately. For the size of the island, they really have very low infection rates.
That's
And based on that, their tourism product is fairly buoyant.
yeah.
But the problem is that the people that come in there, they have to face, obviously, they don't want the things to go up. They don't want
Right.
the infection to go up. So,
So it's yeah, you
but
have to choose. You have to choose what you want to do. I have a question here in the question box. Oh, this is a question since you said you love sports. What is your favorite sport?
cricket,
Cricket. Do they still
yeah,
play cricket out there?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Do they still play cricket?
I don't
Yeah, they sure do.
know. Do you play yourself?
No, I can't see the ball anymore, my dear. I've gotten too old now. I will see the stars before I see the ball.
You're okay. You're fine. You can see well, but you can enjoy you can enjoy watching other people play.
Yeah, yeah,
And
for
I
real.
like the fact that you said the horse racing, because last weekend I was in London and I actually placed my first, well, not my first bets, but I placed some bets on some horses because they still have the horse racing there. We don't have horse racing in this country, so that was pretty fun to watch and to place some bets. Um,
You
talking about music, can we expect new music? Are there any things coming out from you or Third World at this point?
Well, we're just coming off of a great record. More work to be done, and as I said, I really miss that whole thing with Damien and stuff. I've been talking to him a lot recently, and he says, "Uncle, we're ready to roll again and stuff." And it's I guess it's kind of a good time because you really have a lot of time on your hand.
Yeah,
But it's not this free creative spirit time. You know what I mean?
right.
There are things on people's minds. There's money on people's minds
Yeah,
because how are you gonna move from day to day? Christmas is coming. How's that gonna work? And then next year is coming. How's that gonna work?
yeah.
And
You can't
for
plan.
those
You can't plan
No,
ahead.
you can't. And for those younger kids who play music, who have young kids in school and all of that, they must be freaking out. So,
Yeah,
I don't know how the creative side of things is gonna work, but sure, I mean, a musician lives to create more music.
yeah.
That's what you live for.
Keep
That's what we do.
creating. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. So, yeah, I've been coming up with some ideas and stuff, but I mean, I'm not saying I've reached very far with them, but they're fresh in my mind, and they're good. They're good ideas, really good
right.
ideas, and yeah,
If you
and
can,
the and
if
the
you can keep
yeah,
creating,
and the world problem right now,
mm-hmm.
it's inspiring in terms of your lyrical content and all of that.
Yes,
You can use that to describe all sorts of situations that are
yeah,
happening now that all kind of people are going through,
yes,
and
everyone.
so you can use that and you can ramp up your thing. But generally speaking, it's not a real time where I personally I've been feeling very creative or feeling to sit down and play and all that kind of stuff.
No.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit depressed, but very hopeful.
Well,
Very
that's good,
hopeful.
because there shouldn't be pressure for creatives to have to create, because I know that exactly what you said. Creative people are the ones that document the time in history. So what we will hear later on in the future is songs that have been made in this time that are describing the situation. It's documenting the pandemic in history, but it shouldn't be a pressure. Like I said, most of the people that I spoke to are not in a state of mind to create. Their first concern is to be okay. And I think that is okay. You shouldn't feel pressure to have to create. But as fans, we always are curious to find out, is there anything coming out? And since you just told us earlier, you are creating content, you're filming, you're playing, you're recording. It doesn't matter when it's coming out, but it's out, it's there. So when you feel like it, you can put it out, or when you have the right idea or plan for it, it will be put out in the world.
Yeah. And I see Eloina sending a message, and I send back one to her. I'm not sad, my friend. Don't worry.
No, he's serious.
Not sad. It's okay.
Oh, she
sadness is one thing, but
here she asked you, when you ready for me to stop by to give you a hug and some soursop?
Yeah, that would be great.
So he's ready already.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm not near, I'm in Jamaica, so you'd have to FedEx that soursop to me. So.
Well, we would want some as well, because I'm sure that will be very good for our immune systems for this virus, indeed. Before we wrap up this conversation, I want to ask you, are there any inspirational words that you have for the people that are watching this?
Well, Fresh, I really hope that the conversation between us has been the inspiration. You know what I mean? I think we're really pouring our hearts out to each other, and that's what I'm hoping, the inspiration. I can't find a one-liner to tell somebody anything. I can't do that, and we explored some really deep stuff. We talked from the heart, and I hope that the people who are watching it got what's going on in both of our lives.
Right.
And as I say, really and truly, this is not a give up thing. This ain't giving up no way. No. You understand? It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with challenges.
Yes.
And it has to do with personalities.
Experience.
And it has to do with and economics.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say though is to people, don't take anything for granted. Not because you're cool and you can pay your rent and your mortgage every month and you think you're rolling along fine and you have a little something put down. Something can come up like this and railroad your ass straight to the ground. Yeah. So try to always remember to be, very, very look down the road kind of people.
And
look down the road people.
Be grateful and
grateful for what you got, and look down the road to see what's coming ahead. Yeah. Very important.
Very important. And also count your blessings and spread the love, stay positive, and try to check in on each other. One person might not be doing as well as the other with this. That's the one thing that I always encourage people to do, to check in on each other and to make sure everyone is okay in your circle, at least. Thank you so much for wanting to talk to me. And obviously, we wish you nothing but the best. And we hope that we can see you tour again very soon, and that we can enjoy new music, and that we can, that you and I can hang out again at some point somewhere in the world.
All right, Sugar. That sounds good to me.
Yes, I got you. Yeah. All right. Well, have a great day. Stay healthy.
Looking forward to seeing you again. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Me too. Thank you so much. All right.
All right, Sugar. Lots of love, okay?
Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much to my guest, Kat Coore. It was a pretty intense conversation, but he was just telling his truth and how he's experiencing this pandemic as a musician that is used to touring and recording old school. I'm glad that he stays busy. I'm happy for everyone that's tuned in to be healthy and is able to watch this. I'll be back next week with another great artist for more inspiration and motivation. And I hope everyone stays safe. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.